A provision store owner simply shared her observation. She said, "There is a bread that has been in my store for weeks without spoiling, and it raised serious concern." She came online to advise her followers to be mindful of the kind of bread they buy. She did not mention any brand name. She carefully avoided identifying anyone. She was not attacking. She was just cautioning. Bread we know naturally has a short shelf life. When it begins to last unusually long without spoiling, it raises valid concern about preservation method and safety. Then a CEO of a bread company sent her a private message asking her to delete the video. A video that never mentioned any brand name. She claimed that she has suffered losses because of that video. But how, madam? Was your brand mentioned? No. Her next claim was that the woman liked a comment that mentioned her brand. But if you go through the comments, you will see she liked almost all of them. That is simply a way of appreciating engagement. Many content creators do the same. Instead of calmly addressing the concern, the response was legal threats, demands, and a claim of 50 million naira. For what exactly? If no name was mentioned, why the reaction? If there is no issue, why the panic? If it is not guilty conscience, then why attack someone who never mentioned your brand? Sometimes the way people respond to criticism reveals more than the criticism itself. That reaction alone has done more damage than the original observation. This brings us to a bigger issue. Some producers and company owners in this country, especially those who manufacture consumable products, have a very troubling mindset when it comes to feedback. They welcome positive reviews with open arms. They celebrate them and they amplify them. But the moment a negative review appears, it suddenly becomes a problem. Instead of seeing it as a constructive criticism, they interpret it as a personal attack. What many of them fail to understand is this: negative reviews are not enemies of a brand. They are instruments of growth. They are honest reflection that reveal the areas that require attention. When a customer takes a time to share their experience, whether good or bad, it's an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to build credibility. But what do we see instead in this country? Intimidation, threats, abuse of power. Delete that post, bring down that video, and in most disturbing situations, law enforcement is used against the very people it is meant to protect. A customer who simply shared their experience suddenly becomes a target of harassment, bullying. So one must ask, what exactly is the problem? Yes, I know building a brand is not easy. It demands sacrifice, consistency, and resilience. But that is even more reason to be open-minded, especially when your business involves what people consume, what we eat. At that level, it goes beyond profit. It becomes a matter of public health and human safety. No product, no matter how refined, satisfied everyone. One person's satisfaction can easily be another person's discomfort. That is the reality of human differences. Complaints are not unusual. They are inevitable. What really matters is your response. If your product consistently attracts more negative feedback than positive, that is not an attack now. It is a signal, a clear indication that something needs urgent attention. Because growth comes from listening, not silencing. Now let me bring this closer to home. There was a story I came across, one that is difficult to forget. Now this woman's son went out to play football on a hot afternoon, the kind of heat that makes you desperate for something cold, you know. Out of care, she bought a drink from a roadside hawker, one of those locally made drinks stored in reused plastic containers. She bought one for herself and one for her son. While drinking, she noticed something was not right. The taste felt off. But because of the heat and how thirsty she was, she ignored it. Her son drank his as well. Then a few hours later, the boy began to react. He started vomiting. He struggled to breathe. He was in severe pain. So they rushed him to the hospital in panic. But sadly, he did not survive. That was how this woman's son died. So investigation later revealed that the container used for the drink stored chemicals and was not properly cleaned. The drink was contaminated. His young body could not withstand it, and he died. Now pause and think about that.